In the process of digestion, when we churn the food in our mouth, after that we we form a bolus. That bolus is a softened food which is chewed and grinded by us, and it is turned into small balls. These small balls are as such that they can pass through the esophagus. When it is passing through the esophagus, it cannot move as such. So there are series of waves which help in the process of movement of food bolus from the mouth through the esophagus till the stomach. So that entire movement is said to be peristaltic movement, and it takes place in the upper part of the alimentary canal, the passage from the food pipe till the stomach. So that entire area. Now let's understand the type of muscles which help in this movement, and we should also understand the entire process of peristalsis. First of all, we will look into the muscles. The muscles are the place where the muscles are relaxed, that is the side from where the food bolus has already passed to the next site. The circular muscles are surrounding the esophagus so that the movement can be monitored. The bolus is made up of the churned or the grinded food. All of it is collected into a small globular ball which passes through the esophagus. The longitudinal muscles are at the periphery supporting the circular muscles. The muscles they contract, and as they contract, we squeeze the food bolus to the next opening. So this is how the movement takes place. So once the muscle is relaxed, then the contraction, with the help of contraction, the movement of food bolus takes place from one area to the next area. So continuous relaxation and contraction of the muscles lead towards the movement, but this movement is not only like this, there is a lot of other things also going on. So what is the meaning of peristalsis? It includes series of involuntary wave like muscle contractions which move food along the digestive tract, so till it reaches the stomach. You can see how the movement is taking place. This entire movement, it takes place in three phases. First phase is peristaltic movement. These are waves of alternate ring like contractions and relaxations in the intestinal wall that pass towards the stomach side, and it gradually carries the food along with it, and even the secretions of salivary amylases and other secretions. Peristalsis can be controlled by the nerves, and in the stomach this peristaltic waves, they are not that strong as they look through while moving through the esophagus. If we want to understand this movement in case of the stomach, how is the movement taking place, we should understand that at first there is propulsion which takes place, which means that peristaltic waves, they are moving from the fundus, which is the part of the stomach, to the pyrolus, the lower part of the stomach. So this is how the waves are moving. Then the grinding takes place. When the movement, with this vigorous peristaltic movement, there are certain actions which occur in the pyrolic end, and because of that action, see the walls of the pyrolic end is closed so that the churning or the complete digestion of the food can occur. Even during this time, there will be movement of various secretions from the duodenum and other parts, and as well as HCl and other substances come, more or complete digestion, not complete, but yeah, some amount of digestion will occur during this time phase. So retropulsion is the third phase of digestion which occurs in the stomach, and it is in this phase what happens, the pyralic end of the stomach acts as a pump that delivers small amount of chyme into the duodenum area, and simultaneously it forces most of the content or the food content backwards into the stomach. So little amount of food is moving to the duodenum, whereas rest amount of food is still present in the stomach, because stomach will have the acidic pH for the digestion. But we are not going into details of that right now. Our basic aim is to understand these waves. How are the waves taking place in the stomach? At first, when the pyloric end is closed, or pyloric valve is closed, at that time, the movement, you can see the arrow. As the arrow is there, similarly the waves are moving in the stomach. In the second, when second phase also, the movement will be in the similar way, but because of the movement, some amount of food will get digested, whereas in the third portion, small amount of food which is already digested will be moving to the duodenum area. Now, let's again look into the peristaltic phase. We have already discussed how the food is moving from the esophagus till the stomach. Now, next thing which is important is all these circular rings which are placed, they all are placed one after another in a continuous fashion. The importance of these rings is there because they are helping in alternating waves, or creating these alternative waves through the esophagus. And as soon as the food it reaches the stomach, this entire waves, they tend to move inside the stomach, and again they help in the process of digestion. So this is all about the peristalsis. Why is it important? Because our esophagus is very narrow, and if anything wants to move through it, we need some waves or some continuous contraction and relaxation taking place to allow the movement of food particles through this small pipe.